Finally, it's Worldwar time again. Welcome back, Dominators. Domination tips, first World War attack, but first I want to mention some other aspects. You may have noticed that I have claimed or went upwards with my medal count again. This is due to the recently implemented update 5.75, I think, higher learning. You may have seen my video, otherwise you may have not. Probably you are aware of the new content, which is, for example, higher loot from the victory chests, and especially because of this and some mystery or mysterious rumors, I decided for myself to go upwards with the medals to get a proof or a falsification of this myth. And I can definitely tell you that there are some very valuable victory crests or chest rewards which you can get. You can see at the right top side I were at 1874 medal range, which is not that high. It's actually only gold 1, and I already had the decision to take 6,000 of oil, which is pretty much for free, 1.5 million of food and 3 diamonds. So it's pretty considerable that at even higher leagues you will get even better loot. If you get a more macroscopic view on the complete situation, you probably may recognize that this is another step of Nexon yet to force us players to get at the medal ranks. In total, this is another step towards pay to win, because you may have recognized that if you want to get high at medals, I have also made some several videos about this topic already, so I don't want to talk that much about. But if you want to claim the medal ranks and get for 3,000, 3,200 medals, so for the Dynasty League, for the highest league, it's all about spending a lot. And when I'm talking of a lot, I mean a lot. A couple of hours every day, I would assume, to spend a lot of time if you want to do it for free, so without any costs of money, or you have to spend a huge amount of money, so either time or money to spend to get at the higher medal ranks. But there was some kind of trend which went controversially. So for example, me and some other players decided for themselves which there seemed to be some kind of majority decision to go down with their medals again, and so very many players, especially successful players, decided to stay even below or around 1,000 medals, not going as high as they were easily possible or even higher with some struggle. And I think Nexon recognized this because their statistic methods seem very good working, and now they are trying not to force us but to make us more attractive, or to make it more attractive to go to the higher leagues again, because the bonuses are getting or got increased that much severely. If we are talking about probably 6,000 oil at Gold 1 League, I don't want to know how much oil you can get every day from the victory chest at Dynasty League. If some of you may have further information, I would really appreciate getting them so that we can publish. But you have to be aware of the fact that if you think, wow, that's very lucrative, that's very attractive, it's also attractive for all other players, and you may be following the mainstream. So everything which seems attractive in the game, you are not the onlyest player which is recognizing, I want to tell you. So everything what seems attractive in the first way will getting harder in the second way, because most of the people will think like you. I don't know whether you are understanding me, but don't think that medal climbing will get easier. I think severely more people will try to get it, and sometimes it could be pretty beneficial doing the opposite of which seems the most lucrative way. So I will do this, for example, but I don't want to spend any more time and bore you. Some of you may be interested in this topic, others may not. I have done my research for my planes. They are MK4 now. You see my oil savages or whatever, and how high they are. I'm planning to go for the MK5 research, 135,000 oil. Let's activate my generals. Let's see what's inside the town center. Oh, that's pretty nice. We had some donation problems again, so I requested a couple of times only for howitzers, so ranged siege, no matter whether industrial age or whatever, and shooters, nothing else. And I got ponies, tanks, everything. It seemed like I got everything, but not except for the troops I requested. So that was pretty, disappointing. In World War, we are fighting against the Storm Elite 2, level 213, 14 top player of them. We have no Acropolis, but therefore an Angkor Wat build and some kind of obvious maze layout from the outer walls and not maze layout from the inner walls. This is the highest base of the enemy, and we have also a level 5, I think, defense coalition, so that will pretty much match up my level 5 offense coalition. From this state of view, we are pretty equal, but therefore we have over here 2 upgraded atomic tank depots, which are not maxed, but upgraded. Here's a stable. Where is the last depot? Over here, a global depot. We have pretty low bunkers, I would call, industrial max, industrial first stage. The mortars are very, very spread out. So I think this could be a really benefit for my troops, because you probably know my troops are really based on shooters and howitzers, and so the mortars are most pain in my troop composition. So here are a couple of methods how I could go into this layout. I think I will take the right corner or the right flank to drop again my mercenaries first, rallying them at the walls to don't use the obviously open entrances in the base. Also, the mortar will be distracted, and no problem at all. I think the air defenses are very low leveled, but we have some industrial as well as global towers, which could be a pain in the ass due to intransparent research in the university. Then I'm planning to rally in somewhere over here and to get the town center with the precise sabotage, later on using my blitzkrieg over here to get the rest of the buildings. I want to initially, or pretty in the early of the battle, getting the Angkor Wat down, because atomic troops which are getting healed can be very nasty. I'm not pretty sure we see a decent road connection, so radar research I'm pretty anticipating. Therefore, I anticipate pretty strong defense buildings. We have to care for, especially because of the level 5 Egyptians coalition, so I definitely should avoid getting shot by the mortars. I think especially those atomic mortars will make short process with all of my shooters. So I have to care to get them with some decoys, but I have definitely enough decoys, and the cannon towers are very unfavorably placed, so taking a decoy, for example, over here will be very perfect to distract the mortar for the most long time which is possible. Here is another very good solution over here also. So I don't think that this build is that good, but it will prove later. That's my plan. So, I don't know what went wrong at this attack. One of the mortar shots, like I anticipated, hit my troops directly, and there's another aspect. We have an enemy alliance at level 4, so they have decent 10% more hit points and more strength from all of their defense buildings. In total, it's like a level 7 defense coalition if you are multiplying all of their values. So atomic age mortars with radar research, probably a considerable high aspect or research in the university, as well as a level 7 defense coalition or level 5 defense coalition plus additional 10%. So that was definitely more than enough to get all of my troops, all of my shooters with only one shot. I think it cost me about 30 shooters. And then in the late game, I don't know why, but I could not drop my last decoy. You may have seen it. Let's see. Okay, over here it looks like I have used all of my decoys. I don't know why. You may have seen it in the battle. There was just one decoy displayed. So as if I could have used it. 95% in total. I think pretty much in the end I had a very high amount of howitzers remaining, but they couldn't do any more damage due to the fact that they had no defending troops. I saw the heavy tank killing one howitzer after another. I think he got a kill streak of 5 kills and calling in a predator. That's just a little joke for all Call of Duty players among you. Yeah, 95%. I don't know what to say in total. I really hope for 5 stars. I'm slightly disappointed about this attack. Give me any suggestions of yourself about the attack. Over here we have enemy number 2, which I will face tomorrow. We have an Acropolis build. And I'm not pretty sure, but I think it pretty looks like that we have a very good Acropolis use. I think the bunker, all tank depots are definitely inside, but I cannot really think that also the bunker is hit. We have global defenses, such as 3 out of 4 mortars. Fairly upgraded air defenses, but where are the other ones? Do we only have 3 air defenses? So we have 1 pretty maxed out for global age, 1 industrial age air defense. Over here we have another maxed out and an unleveled air defense. So the defensive structure is not that bad. We have not high generals, but in total I don't think that this base build is so bad. One approach could be to come from the right flank, rallying in, hoping that here are not that many traps, but they should be. I think it's a pretty decent build, and you saw the guy who built this base layout made pretty many thoughts about, so I would not anticipate anywhere more traps than over here, because he knows, and every attacker who is professional also knows, he has to get both town centers off 50%, and the town centers are very attractive, very close together, so easy to get from over here where can't be any traps. So I anticipate many traps over here. But also pretty often I am anticipating traps, and especially where I'm anticipating them and where the base is very vulnerable, they are not, which is really confusing me, because I don't think that all of the enemy players are that much genius that they can anticipate what I will anticipate. I think sometimes the traps are also just crap located. But never mind it, if it's working, it is working, and very often I'm anticipating the wrong way. So we have many or some of the high hit point buildings, such as markets, the oil refinery at the right side, and we have also good access to the sniper towers. So I may, because also of my offense coalition, so another troop combination I can drop, I may attack from the right flank, dropping my troops very separated and trying to get the 50% victory. But I will see how I will deal about the space. I got 4 stars at enemy number 1, having activated 2 level 5 defense coalition and hoping that the enemy number 1 with with atomic age offense is unable to get 5 stars at my base. Keep your fingers crossed. We see us tomorrow.